Hey guys, welcome to lesson 14, module 6, grade 5, and we are going to work on solving mathematical problems with rectangles in the coordinate plane. Okay, so we're going to be doing a bunch of rectangles today and solving some problems. You are going to be working in your Learn book, lesson 14, the page with the magnifying glass. It's going to look a little bit like this. I just made my own copy. And problem number 1 there. And it says, plot and label the 3 vertices in the coordinate plane. I hope you remember that a vertex is a corner, or a vertex is a corner. More than one vertex is a vertice. 2 vertices. Anyway, they are corners, right? So vertices, there's the word, and that is corners of a rectangle. So you're going to plot A at 2, 3, B at 2, 8, C at 6, 8, and we're going to figure out where to put D. So go ahead and plot those right now. Remember, to the right and up. Hopefully we're getting really good at that. 2, 8, 6, 8. Okay, and that's letter A. Letter B says determine the ordered pair for point D, the 4th vertex. So if this is a rectangle and we have this line and this line, then you can see we're missing a corner there, and there might be a couple of different ways to find it. One would be to use a straight edge, or just like a file folder or some kind of other straight edge, right? You don't have to have a ruler to draw the right angle coming down and the right angle going across. See where they're going to meet up, right? And that will be D. And so then for letter B, we're going to write the ordered pair for point D, and point D is 7 across and 2 up, so 7, 2. Got that? And that will be letter B in your book. And then we already drew our rectangle A, B, C, D, named for every corner. A was now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing that I made a mistake. Do you see the mistake I made? 2, 3. This should have been here. That's A. B is 2, 8. 2, 8. B. C is 6, 8. C. And that would make D not 7, 2. Hopefully you didn't make the mistake. It's going to be here, right? And that would be 6, 3, D. So sorry about that. That's why I should be using pencil, huh? So 6, 3, not 7, 2. Teachers make mistakes, don't we? All right, very good. And that's why it's always good to go back and look at our work. Identify the ordered pair for a point CD other than C or D. So an ordered pair, right? These things are called ordered pairs for a point on CD. So here's CD. So I'm looking for any point on CD that's not C or D. Let's get another color. Since we have some other colors, I'm going to pick this point right here. And I see that it is 6, 6. 6, 6 is my other point on line CD. Is that what you picked? Because there's other ones, right? Along this line you could have picked other points. Okay, very good. How can you use parallel and perpendicular lines to determine the ordered pair for point D? Kind of like we looked at, right? So this line is parallel to BC, AD, and CD is parallel to BA. So we just need to draw them until we get to that vertex for D. Yes? Okay, very good. Feel like my picture is not in the frame. So I don't know if you were seeing me or not, but here I am. Sorry about that. Okay. How can you use symmetry to determine the ordered pair for part D? Remember what we learned about symmetry in our last lesson? So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So my line of symmetry would be right through the middle here, right? So I'm dividing that rectangle in half. And then I could do 2 this way and 2 this way, right? Okay. What does every point on line segment CD have in common? On line segment CD, and no matter what point you're going to pick, what is it going to have that would be the same as like what I picked? Hopefully you're thinking about how the X is all 6, right? They're all going to have the X of 6, but some are going to have 6, 4, and 6, 5, and 6, 6, and 6, 7. 6, 7. Got that one for you? All right. What does every point on line segment AD have in common? AD, this line, each of those will have in common a 3 in the Y. So they're going to be 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, right? 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. They're all going to have a Y of 3. Okay, so we're going to be talking some more about that today. And now we're going to go back in your book by 2 pages to the part where it does say lesson 14, but it's just going to have an ordered pair, and it's going to, a coordinate plane, and it's going to look like that, and it's going to have part A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, and here's my little mock-up of that. Okay, part A. Just a plain coordinate plane, all set to go for us. In the coordinate plane for part A, plot any 2 points on intersecting grid lines that do not lie on the same horizontal or vertical line, and write each point's ordered pair next to that point. Okay, so it sounds kind of complicated, but what they mean is I'm going to pick one point, and that is 2, 3. And then I'm going to pick another one that is not on the same horizontal and not on the same vertical. So it could be like maybe over here. Okay, and that would be 9, 8. 9, 8. Okay, so 2 points kind of diagonal from each other, not on the same horizontal and not on the same vertical, but could be anywhere else. Okay. Oh, right. And if you have a partner or another person in the room with you, you're going to give them your paper and you're going to get their paper, and they also plotted 2 points the same way, right? So now we're going to try and figure out the other 2 vertices for our rectangle. So we need to make this into a rectangle basically. Okay, so you might have your partners or you might have your own, and you're going to think about, how can I make this into a rectangle? You can use your straight edge or your folder paper or whatever you have. I'm going to take mine and I'm going to make my rectangle side here. And you know what? I'm just going to make a line, and I'm not going to worry about how long it is. It can be a little bit over because I just want to know where that line is going to be. And then there's my first vertex of my rectangle. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. Second vertex of my rectangle. And there's makes my last 2 vertexes of my rectangle, right? And it's okay if the line goes over a little bit. And how did I determine the locations of the other 2 vertices? We could have counted, right? We could have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then looked for, we could say this one is at 2 and this one is at 9, so it's going to be 7 long in between, right? We could have done some counting. We could have just drawn the line to see where it would end up. Okay, and how can you check your work to be sure that you chose the correct locations? We can make sure that everything has right angles. We can make sure that our opposite sides are equal in length, right? This side and this side have to both be 7, and these two sides have to be from 3 to 8, 5. They both have to be 5. Okay, so we can double check that. Oh, right, and that is going to be our first video. So I will see you in our next video, and we'll be working on part B. Thanks, you guys. Aloha.